Hello and welcome. What you are about to hear is an excerpt from an oral history interview collected by the Octavia Phelan Public Library as part of its Our Stories, Our Community project. The full interview this excerpt is taken from is available on CD at the Octavia Phelan Public Library main branch.
Hi, my name is Jackie Don McKinney. I am 65 years old. Today's date is February the 12th of 2015. We're located in the Children's Library of the City of Gallup, and I'm sitting here with the interviewer, Marcus Chavez, who is the adult supervisor here.
I'm Marcos Chavez, age 36. Today's date is February 12th, 2015. We're at the Children's Library, and I'm here with the mayor of Gallup. So, Mr. Mayor, I understand that you grew up in Gallup, but you weren't born in Gallup. So, can you tell me where you were born?
Yeah, Marcus, I was born in Lawton, Oklahoma, actually at Fort Sill. My dad was Army, and born in Lawton, and then I was in Germany probably from the ages of 2 to 5.
Oh, wow.
And we came back from Germany. We're in Lawton, and at a very young age, around 2, I was diagnosed with severe asthma. Lived in oxygen tents on and off throughout my grade school years. And finally, in 1961, per the direction of doctors and all that, my dad chose to leave the military service and moved the family here to New Mexico because of my health, getting me into a dry climate.
I see.
So we moved into Grants, New Mexico in 1961. I lived there for 2 years. He put in a business, and he expanded his business into Gallup, and we moved into Gallup in 1963 when I started the 9th grade.
Okay.
Therefore, Gallup's home. I continued my education through junior high. In high school, I attended New Mexico Military Institute in Roswell, New Mexico.
Oh, wow.
And came back to Gallup to graduate my final year in Gallup High.
So what was it like growing up in Gallup at that time?
It was excellent. The shock for me, being a little oaky kid, and I was, being a sickly kid, I was very undersized and underweight. So when I moved into Grants, it was a cultural shock being around Hispanic people. We didn't have that in Oklahoma. So I went to that cultural shock and got acclimated. I was fortunate I had a very good-looking sister, a year older than me, and that made for accumulating a lot of bigger, older friends. And then when we came to Gallup, I'd already gotten into the diversity of our area out here, and I ran into the Native Americans, which naturally Oklahoma has lots. But Gallup is such a unique city because we're surrounded 360 degrees by the Navajo Reservation and the Zunis to the south. I had to get the cultural shock out of the way. My family, my mother had severe issues with the climate being so dry. What was good for me hurt her with sinus conditions, being so dry at the 6,500 elevation level. But being raised as a kid here, it was great. I was fortunate. I worked hard and got the money and bought me a motor scooter at the age that we were licensed back then, which was 12 years, 8 months. And that was my mode of transportation, a motor scooter, and then I've eventually a 125cc Lambretta. I grew into a Ducati by the time I was in the 9th grade. And then in high school, naturally, came the cars.
Right.
But living in a small community, you know, we're surrounded by some of the greatest lands, the Red Rocks, the Cibola National Forest, McGaffey. We spent a lot of time in the McGaffey area out at the Church Rock. Lots of outdoor activities. And having the mix of friends that we did and their families in a town that back then, I'd say we were around 16,000 people. It was easy to get to know the community. I thought the schools were excellent back then. There was strict codes as far as dress. And
The Octavia Phelan Public Library is committed to providing open and wide access to information. please visit one of our branches in Gallup, New Mexico. The music used in this podcast was Enigmatic by Ben Sound, available at www.bensound.com. Thank you for listening to this oral history. This is John Fortunato for the Octavia Film Public Library.